All right, oil change for the 2016 to 2022 Honda HRV. These are the tools we'll need. So starting with the basics, we need some lint-free paper towels or some sort of a lint-free cloth. I like to use this particular brand, Scott's, I think. And then disposable gloves, of course. And in terms of the actual hand tools, you need a 3/8 inch socket with a 3-inch extension. And this is to remove the oil filter. So this is an oil filter cap. That's the better tool. There's also a wrench that you can use, oil filter wrench, so you can see. I'm just going to go up close here. There's these teeth that can grip them. But on this particular Honda, this HRV, it's hard to get it in position to grip the oil filter, so it's better to use the cap if you can, okay? And of course, you need a 17mm box end wrench to get at the oil drain plug, all right? Now, if you don't have a box end wrench set, you could use the socket with a 17mm, but I prefer the box end wrench myself. Okay, of course, we'll need a new engine oil filter. I personally like using the genuine Honda, and you can see the part number there. You need a new drain plug washer. So this is metal. You can get that from Honda as well. We will need a drain pan, of course, so get a big one, at least 8 liters. This one that I'm using here, it's got a platform here for the oil filter, so I find that to be really helpful. In terms of the engine oil, the HRV calls for 0W20, so you can use this particular brand. It's synthetic by default. The 0W is always synthetic. And I personally like using 5W30 in the summer. It's a little bit thicker, and for an older engine, it could provide better protection over time. Okay, so get the vehicle on ramps. You can actually do the oil change with the vehicle on level ground, but I'm just doing it with the ramps today just so I can record easier. But if you don't feel comfortable with this step, getting the vehicle on the ramp, don't do this oil change, okay? But if you're confident enough to do it, start by popping up the hood, remove the oil cap, okay, just like that. So just put it over top so dust doesn't get in. We just want to open it up here a little bit so when we drain the engine oil, it'll drain easier, okay? So I like to lay a sheet of cardboard underneath just for me to lie on so my clothes doesn't get dirty, and the oil filter's right there. So on North American vehicles with left-hand drive, this is going to be on the passenger side where I just pointed to. That's where the engine oil drain plug is. It says engine oil there, so it's pretty foolproof. And me personally, I like to remove the engine oil filter first. So you can see here, I mentioned earlier, the wrench, you can't really get in position that well because that splash shield is in the way, and then the pan is in the way as well. So hopefully you can see why it's better to use the cap style oil filter wrench, okay? So you just get in position like that. It should snap into place, okay? Don't turn it if it's not secure. You might have to manually get it in place, all right? So I got it in place there. So now I can attach my extension to there, and it's counterclockwise to loosen. So you can see there, it came off pretty easily. So once you get it loosened, you can loosen the rest by hand. Sometimes that cap will stick to the oil filter, but you just need to use your wrench to tap on it lightly in a couple of different places, and usually it'll loosen off. You want to get that off only because oil is going to be flowing out, as you'll see. You don't want to dirty that oil cap if you don't have to, okay? So you unthread it, there you go. See, the oil is coming out. Oil is still pretty clean, but I like to change it more often during winter. So you get it off like that. Eventually it'll separate like that, and then more oil is going to come out, okay? So just be prepared for that. Make sure the pan is positioned accordingly. And once you get it off, once the oil flows out a little bit more and it's slower, just get a rag and just clean the mating surface of the oil filter. This is an important step because sometimes the oil filter gasket material can stick to the surface, and you want that surface to be clean so the new oil filter will mate on perfectly, and you're less likely to get any kind of seepage or leaks, okay? So we got to prepare the new oil filter. Now, what I'm going to show you now, this is an optional step. You don't have to do it, but in my opinion, it's just a best practice. It's better to do. I like to oil the section here. So there's a little gasket there, right? So it's just for the seal. So I like to grease it up a little bit like that. I'm just spreading it. You can put a little bit more if you want. Okay, just like that. And then what I like to do too, and again, you don't have to do this, But I like to prime the oil filter a little bit by pouring a little bit of engine oil. So I'm able to do this because the oil filter is mounted upside down. On some vehicles like older Hondas, like say the 2001 to 2005 Civic, it mounts on kind of horizontally, so you wouldn't be able to pour as much oil like this. But the reason for doing this is just so the oil filter gets filled a little bit, so when we start up the engine later on, oil can circulate to the upper parts of the engine easier. Because if the oil filter was empty, it would take about 1 to 2 seconds for the oil to circulate through the filter before being pumped into the upper areas. So that's the main reason why we want to do this, okay? You just want to move it around for the filter media to absorb the oil, and then once you've done that, you can reinstall the oil filter. So just be careful, just make sure that the threads match up, and then, as you're doing it, you'll know. So once you get in position there as I have, make sure it spins freely, make sure that it's not binding or anything like that. And with this genuine Honda oil filter, it's actually kind of cool. So they have these guides on the filter there. You see there's 3 arrows there. So there's 1 arrow, 2 arrow, 3 arrow, 4 arrow. And they're kind of guides just to let you know how much to tighten, because we want to keep turning the oil filter in until it makes contact. So in other words, like until it slows the turning and until you feel a resistance right there. And then at that point, you want to turn it just under 3/4 turn, or say like 2/3 of a turn, okay? So the guide on that Honda oil filter is helpful. So I'm at a 1, I think, over there. And then if it's about a 3/4 turn, I would expect it to maybe stop at around where they show 4 arrows. So that's about 3/4 turn. So let's see if that's accurate. Sorry, I'm just putting some elbow grease in there. Let me zoom in a little bit. So yeah, 4 arrows there. Okay, so that's about just under a 3/4 turn. So we're good. That's all you need to do. You don't need a tool to tighten anymore. Okay. And then I have some brake cleaner here. Sorry about the Toyota. I should have used the Honda one, but I just like to spray that area a little bit just to clean it off. Just so, like sometimes once the engine gets warmed up, you can get some oil burning smell if you have some residue kicking around. So again, this is just a best practice to clean that area. You don't have to have brake cleaner. If you don't have any, it's okay. So at this point, now we can drain the engine oil, okay? So that drain plug bolt is a 17 millimeter, and I'm going to show you how I do it with the box end wrench. You want to position the wrench where it's angled inward, okay? So you get it in position, and you want to use your other hand just to put it over top, okay? That way the wrench can be secure, and then you just punch it like that to loosen, okay? Most times it'll come off unless it's been over tightened, okay? That washer that I showed earlier, it prevents over tightening. I mean, sometimes people can still screw it up, but in my case, I always change this washer, so I never have an issue loosening. So just be very careful here. The oil is going to come out with a lot of force, just like that, as you see, okay? So you just got to position the oil pan accordingly. The first time you do it, you might mess up and it might flow on the ground, but don't worry about it. And as the flow slows, you can move the pan in a little bit more, okay? On a windy day, this can be an issue. So anyways, this is the drain plug. So I like to just clean it. So I just got to take out the old washer first, and then I'll clean it a little bit with some brake cleaner. I like everything clean when I'm putting it back, or as clean as possible at least. So clean it off there, dry it off. And once I make sure that it's clean, I'll put on the new washer. So it just goes on top like that. When you reinstall this drain plug, just make sure that washer sits flush. It's not binding on the threads, so just got to get it back in position. And again, once you get it in position, you want to make sure that it turns freely, that it's not binding. If it's binding, then just pull it out again and reinstall. You don't want to cross thread or damage the threads, okay? So this is what I like to do. I like to tighten it until it's finger tight. And you could use a torque wrench. Torque specs are shown on the screen there. I don't use a torque wrench. I'm just going to show you how I tighten it. So just holding it like that at the base of the wrench, you just give it a little bit more, okay, until it doesn't move anymore. And at this point, you hold again over top just so it's secure so you don't round the bolt. And you just give it a little bit more of a turn. So about 5 to 10 degrees more of a turn. And that's really all you need, okay? It's always worked for me. I never had a leak. So, and at this point, this is the fun part. So this is where we get to fill the fresh engine oil. So the vehicle takes about 4.3 liters of engine oil. Okay, so this amount includes the oil that we added into the oil filter earlier. So the oil filter probably took about 100 milliliters of oil, but you just pour in 4.3 liters. That's a pretty safe amount. Okay, and then I'll just get the funnel out of the way there. And then remember to, of course, tighten the oil cap. This is very important. Some lube places, they forget to tighten it, and it creates a lot of issues. And then lock in the dipstick. And now we go in and we start up the engine to circulate the engine oil, okay? So start her up. And I'll go underneath the vehicle typically once the engine's running, just to make sure that there's no leaks or any kind of seepage from the engine oil filter or the drain plug, okay? Just getting under there right now. I'm going to show you. So I'm just feeling around. No leaks on the oil filter. Let's look at our drain plug there. No leaks either. So we're good to go at this point. All right. So there's a few more things to do. Never pour the old oil down the drain or sewer or anything like that, please. Just collect it in an old oil bottle, and you can typically take the old engine oil to your local dump, or you can maybe offer it up for free on Facebook Marketplace or something. Some people who use oil furnaces, they can use the old engine oil to power it. Okay? So the next step is to back the vehicle off the ramps and then park on a level surface and then shut off the engine and let the vehicle sit for about 10 to 15 minutes just so the oil can settle, and that way we can get a good reading to dial in the oil levels. Okay, so to check engine oil levels, pull the dipstick out and then wipe. You're not going to get an accurate reading the first pull. And then stick the dipstick in and then lock it in all the way and then pull it out. And the engine oil level should be between the crosshatch pattern, okay? Might be a little bit hard to see there. I'm going to pull it up, zoom in a little, right there. You want the oil to be between there, ideally at the top, okay? So sometimes when the oil is really clean, it could be hard to read the level. So this is my tip to get a reading. So you just want to insert the dipstick until it gets to that point there so it doesn't lock in, and then pull it out, and you should expect the oil level to be at the third diamond shape there. If it is, then it's a sure bet that your engine oil is at a good level, and at that point you can finish up. But if you do need to add some engine oil, just add a little bit at a time, and you just want the oil level at the top of the crosshatch, okay? So of course, after you pour in the oil, make sure to tighten the oil cap again and ensure that the dipstick is locked in place, okay? And then you're done at this point. Close the hood. And the final thing to do is to reset the oil life monitor. So just toggle to the oil life there. And you got to hold that stock there for about 10 to 15 seconds. It's a really long time. You might think that you're not doing it right, but you just got to hold it longer. The engine could be running, or you could have the ignition in the on position until it starts flashing like that. And then let off and hold that stock one more time for about another 10 seconds. And then it should reset to 100%. Right there. We're done. Okay? Hope this video helped, and thanks for watching.